On July 18th, Meta released version 2 of its popular large language model, or LLM, called Llama. In this release, Meta made a significant change to Llama's license. Whereas Llama 1 was licensed under the General Public License, GPL, Llama 2 is licensed under the Llama 2 Community License, which appears to be a custom license drafted from scratch by Meta. The weights of Llama 1 were under a separate license that prohibited commercial use. In contrast, all Llama 2 materials that have been released so far, including the weights, are under the new license, which does not prohibit commercial use. Nonetheless, there are a few things to watch out for. Here are 5 aspects of the new license that developers should be aware of, particularly with respect to its new acceptable use policy. First, the acceptable use policy has some provisions that are relevant to compliance with data privacy laws. Meta prohibits the use of Llama 2 to distribute information to minors without implementing any legally required age gating measures. They also prohibit the use of Llama 2 in connection with health, demographic, or other sensitive or personal or private information without obtaining any consents that are required by law. That means that if a product or service that incorporates Llama 2 violates applicable laws around data privacy or the protection of minors, it automatically violates the license as well. Second, the acceptable use policy prohibits the use of Llama 2 to engage in the unauthorized practice of any licensed profession. Developers who are building apps relating to the legal field or the medical field should take particular note of this provision and ensure that their app is compliant. Third, the acceptable use policy prohibits uses of Llama 2 that infringe intellectual property rights. This also applies to outputs and content created by any generative AI app that uses Llama 2. This provision is currently ambiguous by its very nature because the question of whether the use of copyrighted content to train an LLM constitutes copyright infringement is controversial, and there's no clear answer yet. It may take a while for that question to be answered. If Meta takes a position or enacts a policy on that question, that could affect how they interpret and apply this provision. Fourth, there are certain types of uses that may not be illegal, but are nonetheless prohibited by the acceptable use policy. These include the use of Llama 2 in connection with the military, warfare, guns, controlled substances, critical infrastructure, transportation technologies, heavy machinery, or the distribution of spam, which the policy does not define. Fifth, the license blanketly prohibits the use of Llama 2 to improve any LLM. What this means is if you're building your own LLM, you can't use Llama 2 to benchmark, test, or otherwise use it as a reference point for your LLM, even if it's non-commercial in nature or it doesn't compete with Llama. Thanks for watching Kilobytes. For more, follow us on LinkedIn, Medium, and YouTube. I'm Sabri Ibrahim of OptimEdge Legal.